We have to get back to work. Our people want to work. They want to go back.
As I'm recording this video, the world total for infected is 596,350 total infected. That's almost 600,000. By the time you're watching this, it's probably 600,000 already. The United States today was the first country to reach 100,000 cases, already surpassing Italy, China, and Spain last night. The US numbers jumped up by a tremendous amount today. Over 400 deaths today just in the United States alone, the biggest number yet. And total deaths in the country have reached 1,700 so far. And like we said, it's only continuing to ramp up. Today in Italy, they broke another record. Over 900 people passed away in Italy today from the coronavirus, and Spain had over 700 people pass away. 700 people died, and the US had 400 people die. Yeah, just today. Our numbers are worse than Italy, and we're a week behind where they're at right now. So it's only going to get worse. Trump's still not claiming responsibility, and anytime the stock market goes up, he's tweeting about the stock market, saying that, oh yes, it's the biggest day in history. And every time the stock market goes down, he doesn't take credit, because he's only taking credit when things are good. When the economy is running well, when the country's doing well, he takes credit, and he doesn't want to take responsibility for the outbreak that is going on. I do want to say it's not his fault. Nobody could have prevented this. He could have done things to slow down the spread by enacting right away when they heard the news that the virus is spreading, but he kept dismissing it. And right now, a lot of people are just still blaming him, but I feel like we need to focus our energy on combating the virus in the ways that we could stop this, and stop focusing our energy on him. Yes, he's at fault. Yes, he's not taking responsibility as a leader should. He's the president. He should take responsibility when we have the lowest unemployment rate, and he should take responsibility when the unemployment rate has reached over 3 million people, the highest in the history of the United States. I feel like it should go both ways when you are the person in charge. What do you guys think? You think he's responsible, or this is a hidden enemy that he didn't even anticipate to be this bad? Let me know your opinion in the comments below. Today, the Prime Minister of the UK tested positive for the coronavirus in a viral video of him in March 3rd, about 3 weeks ago, dismissing the virus, saying he was shaking people's hands and hugging people.
Victoria, I can tell you that I'm shaking hands continuously. I was at a hospital the other night where I think there were actually a few coronavirus patients, and I shook hands with everybody. You'll be pleased to know, and I continue to shake hands. And I think it's very important that we, people obviously can make up their own minds. I think that Matt has said that people must make up their own minds, but I think the scientific evidence is, well, I'll hand over to the experts, but our judgment is wash. Washing your hands is the crucial thing. Today, which is that I've developed mild symptoms of the coronavirus, that's to say a temperature and a persistent cough. And on the advice of the chief medical officer, I've taken a test that has come out positive. So I am working from home. I'm self-isolating.
And unfortunately, he caught the virus, and this is a huge news because world leaders are going to start catching this. People that actually matter are going to start catching this, and if some of them start dying, that's going to be, the world's going to go into more of a chaos right now. Americans don't know how to feel, because today it was finally passed the bill, the $2 trillion that's going to help alleviate some of the stresses that we have, because a lot of people are not working, some businesses have closed, and a lot of people are saying $1,200 is not enough, and $1,200 in some states is going to go a long ways. And $1,200, for example, in New York or Los Angeles, it doesn't even cover your month's rent. And not to mention that this check is not going to be delivered for another 2 to 3 weeks by the time we actually get it. And once we get that check, what's going to happen after that? We're still not going back to work. What if everything, if we're still in quarantine, how much is this really going to help? We don't know. There's so much in the air right now. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Today, some interesting news at the port of Los Angeles that USNS Mercy arrived. It's basically a floating hospital that arrived, that is used during wartime. So when we're fighting in another country, we have a hospital in the sea and the ocean for our soldiers to be taken care of. And this is going to alleviate some of the pressure at the hospitals in LA. It's not going to be treating COVID-19 patients, but it is going to take all the patients that are not being treated for the COVID-19 and being placed here, so they're isolated and they don't have the risk of getting contaminated. And that way the doctors could focus on curing these people. That's something that a lot of people are not thinking about. Like when people are going to the hospital because they have the COVID-19, there's people in there that are having heart attacks, getting surgeries, people, like regular illnesses, regular emergencies. On top of that, we have this outbreak. So the problem is the hospitals, there's not enough rooms, there's not enough beds, and that's why the National Guard was called in states like California, Washington, and New York. And eventually the rest of the country is going to follow suit, even some of the areas that are not contaminated right now. Although the president wants to open some of these areas by April 12th, by Easter Sunday, I think it's going to go more of of the New York route where everything's going to be quarantined and we're having precaution.
We have to get back to work. Our people want to work. They want to go back. They have to go back. And we're going to be talking about dates. We're going to be talking with a lot of great professionals. But this is a country that was built on getting it done.
Today, NBA analyst Doris Burke revealed on ESPN's Woj podcast that she has been tested positive for COVID-19 and she has since been recovering and claims to be symptom-free. So shout out to Doris Burke for beating the virus. Congratulations. Today in some wrestling news, WrestleMania will go on without Roman Reigns. Given his medical history and recently coming back from his battle with leukemia, he has opted out to not wrestle against Goldberg for the Universal Championship. Again, WrestleMania will take place during two different dates on April 5th and April 6th, and Roman Reigns, one of the headliners, is not going to be participating because he has underlying health conditions, which is one of the reasons COVID-19 attacks these people. So Roman Reigns, I used to be a big wrestling fan maybe like 3-4 years ago, and when he was barely coming up, and I've always been a fan of him, and hopefully he's able to keep fighting leukemia, keep fighting, and hopefully after this he's back in the ring once the smoke clears out. Interesting. I mean, the only events that are still happening in WrestleMania, because Vince McMahon, man, that dude's a true OG. And interesting, WWE doesn't waste a moment to get some bag. They release some t-shirts and you can buy some of the WWE merch. They have wrestling t-shirts that say I was not there, like basically WrestleMania t-shirts, I was not there, because they love selling merch, and I'm pretty sure they're selling those like hotcakes. Where did that term come from? Selling like hotcakes? Where was a time where hotcakes were just selling fast? I don't know. Today, Ozark Season 3 debuts on Netflix. If you're not a fan of Ozark, please check it out. It's a pretty easy show. Season 1 is amazing. Season 2 was a little bit dragging. Like, Season 2, I didn't really love it. But I am excited for Season 3. I want to see where the story takes. It's kind of, I want to say a little bit of Breaking Bad, but it takes place more like in some redneck country. It's pretty cool. I really enjoy Ozark. I can't wait to binge watch this show. I'll let you guys know my opinion. Maybe over the weekend, since it's the weekend. It's not like I'm gonna go to the club or nothing. Today in some music news, Party Next Door dropped a new album. Dua Lipa dropped a new album as well, called it Future Nostalgia. Pearl Jam dropped a new album. Little Dragon dropped a new album. 9 Inch Nails dropped 2 new albums. It was a very busy day on music news, so if you are a fan of these artists, definitely go check out their music. I really don't listen to any of the people that I mentioned, but it was interesting if you're a fan. No, it's just, I mean, it's music news if you guys want to listen to some good music from Pearl Jam. Little Dragon, we've seen on Coachella, no? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've seen Little Dragon at Coachella, and Pearl Jam, I guess they're legends, but I don't know, not into that kind of music right now. Grey's Anatomy is ending season 16 a little bit early due to the COVID-19, and it was interesting because I think last week all these medical shows on Grey's Anatomy and whatever other medical shows are still going on right now, they donated all of their gloves and their face guards and everything to the medical staff that's fighting in the battlegrounds of the COVID-19. So I thought that was a pretty interesting story, throwing all the resources, whatever they had from these medical shows, to the actual real professionals. I thought it was pretty neat. Today, Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey is going to be out early on digital, as well as Bloodshot, The Call of the Wild, Downhill, Frozen 2 obviously is already on Disney+. The Hunt and Invisible Man are available for 48-hour rentals. Onward will be available on Disney+ on April 3rd, and Sonic the Hedgehog available for purchase digitally March 31st. Like I said in another video earlier this week, Rise of Skywalker is already on Disney+ and to buy, and the movie Trolls will be available April 10th. All the movies that were on the movie theater a couple months last month finally coming to the streaming services, because not a lot of people were able to go to the movie theaters, and I guess Birds of Prey could say that was an excuse on why it flopped so hard at the box office. Maybe. Nah, that movie was just kind of trash. I kind of liked it though. I didn't hate it as much as other people. Like, people were making it out to seem like it was the worst movie ever, and I thought it was cool. It wasn't like a super amazing, but it was a good movie. I thought it was That was cool. Today, I read a very interesting article. I'll put the link in the description about drones. Drones by DJI. The company DJI owns 80% of the drone market in the United States and in the world. This company out of China, they just took over the market space. And we've seen people like GoPro try their own drones and they dropped that project because they failed. And other companies have tried drones and they failed because they can't produce the quality product for the price that DJI is able to produce out of China. Being a Chinese company, and especially a drone Chinese company, some people are speculating that it might compromise national security. When it comes to Chinese products, people are skeptical that China always has a secret agenda. So if you have all these drones, just everybody flying the DJI drones, it could be sending footage or information to the Chinese government, and I don't know what the information could be used for. So right now there's a lot of speculation for DJI. They want to go public. They want to do an initial public offering, which will enter the stock market. They've been thinking about this. One of the takes in this article that they mention is the drones, the way that police departments use drones, because a lot of times they can't afford to use a helicopter all the time, so they use drones to get into some areas where they're not going to be able to go on foot, or to get the aerial coverage right away without having to use a helicopter, as well as in the border patrol agents use drones to surveillance the border, and the cartels actually use drones to smuggle drugs over the US border. Like, I never even thought of considering that, but that's pretty crazy. Like, drones, besides taking cool videos and music videos and pictures of the landscape, they're actually used in day to day by these police agencies and by criminals. Like, it's really interesting, and this article details the start of the company, where it's going next. I definitely recommend you guys check it out. Put the link in the description. And finally, the last story of today, 3D companies are actually printing out face guards for some of the medical staff. A lot of people with 3D printers are actually being useful for the first time ever. So a lot of times, I don't know if you remember, like 2013 when 3D printing started coming out, 2014, 15, a lot of hype and speculation saying that everyone was going to have a 3D printer in their home and we were going to be able to print all these items and it was going to be the new revolution. But then the hype died down because they were super unaffordable and it wasn't really practical. It was just like little plastic stuff. Now 3D printing is actually helping the medical staff. So shout out to those people that own 3D printers and are actually being progressive enough to help out the medical supply. And I'll put the link in the description for you guys to read the article as well. So thank you guys for watching this video. My name's Angel. Make sure you guys like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll be making a daily video every night at 8 p.m. as well as other videos that are going to be coming out earlier in the day that are not going to be part of Daily Fire, but it's just other stuff that I post on this channel. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
We have to get back to work. Our people want to work. They want to go back.